Souls-like games have exploded in popularity ever since Elden Ring released a few years ago. Before its release, Soulsborne games had a small but dedicated fan base. FromSoft made their first Souls game back in 2009 with Demon's Souls, which didn't do as well as expected, but the director saw something special in the idea and kept pushing it until we got Dark Souls in 2011. Compared to Demon's Souls, Dark Souls did it right, and fans saw this. Nobody was making games as unforgiving and challenging as this back in 2011. The game got popular enough to really kickstart the Souls-like genre and the whole Dark Souls trilogy. But what made this game so special? Why was it able to kickstart an entire franchise? That's what we're going to figure out today. We're going to play through the entirety of Dark Souls 1 and then talk about it a little bit. We're going to try to figure out what made this game stand out from the crowd so much. Dark Souls 1 starts you off with building your beautiful, beautiful character. We'll call him Gilbert. Isn't he just handsome? Once your very own Gilbert is crafted, you spawn in a jail cell and get a body tossed at you. Luckily, this body was holding the cell key. So after marching through some living corpses, Gilbert encounters his first true foe, the Asylum Demon. Nothing Gilbert can't handle. Alright. Maybe the demon's just a tad bit stronger than me right now. But we'll be back! After a rock tries to kill me dead, we meet the man who tried to hurl a dead body at us earlier. It kinda pissed me off, but we'll hear him out.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Just kidding! Fuck this guy!
Why?
Looting his corpse gives us these awesome flasks that not only taste amazing, but also heal you when injured. Not that we'd ever need them personally. But just in case, you know? As we progress forward, we come face to ass with the Asylum Demon once again. Too bad for him, because now we have a real weapon. And just like Jax from League of Legends, we're a real threat. I can't believe I said that. But it seems another issue has arisen. We're trapped on this mountaintop. Well, let's just see how far the drop is. Let's just walk up over to the edge and... Oh my god! Oh my god, they're stealing me! Help!
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
Oh my god, oh my god, it hurt, This doesn't seem that bad. We got a nice fireplace and maybe a future friend. Let's go talk to him.
Well, let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
What a fucking asshole. At least he pointed me in the right direction after insulting me. The 2 bells of awakening. One up above us and one deep below in a place called Blight Town. Sounds pretty fun. I'm excited to see what that's all about. But we'll start with the bell closest first though. Leading us straight into Undead Burg. Kinda looks like London. Whenever I've seen a playthrough of this game, I always see people do this jump, so let me try it out. Let me try one more time. Alright, just one more time. Alright, just one more time. Easy enough for a guy like Gilbert. You may be wondering what this jump even leads to. Well, it's the first of many Black Knights hidden in the early game. These guys are supposed to be hard, but Gilbert works best while under pressure. So it's just a few parries, this guy's nothing. The whole point of killing these Black Knights is to 1, show off, and 2, they have the chance to drop very good items. And I want them. I want their weapons. The rest of On Brittenberg is a cakewalk. All you gotta do is cross this bridge and... Alright, well, looks like this bloke is trying to get in my way. I'd knock him over the head. Maybe I'll do it again. Maybe a few times, actually. Let's hit him in the kneecaps while he's concussed. Damn straight. You better not show your face around Gilbert again. Now that we can freely pass, let's meet our next friend.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Soler of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
This guy's kind of weird, but I fuck with him. Seems chill enough. Hope he finds whatever he's looking for. I don't know. After meeting Soler, we can take out our next Black Knight in the hopes of getting the Black Knight sword. Like, it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. Well, maybe I'm the pathetic one, actually. After he's disposed of, we progress forward until we find the elevator back to Firelink. Let's try to reconnect with that asshole by the fire. Maybe he had a change of heart.
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit.
I'm gonna hurt this guy. I swear to God. Going back up the elevator allows you to get your first Firekeeper soul. These are the souls that upgrade your flask, make them heal for more. And if you were paying attention, you may have noticed that I already have +1. That's because Gilbert's passive perk is spawning in with +1 flasks. And it's not because I ran into New Londo runes at level 1. I don't know why anyone would who would do such a thing. Right outside this building and across the bridge is Andre, a blacksmith who will help us along our journey, and it's just all around a great guy. We could spend some souls and buy some Titanite from him and upgrade our scimitar now, but I prefer to upgrade my weapons later. Back into the building on the other side of the bridge, and just up some stairs is the first of the 2 bells that you have to ring. And the only thing standing between Gilbert and that bell is a gargoyle. Or 2. The best strategy here is to run around in circles smacking their tail until you chop it off, granting you the Gargoyle Tail Axe. We will never use this thing. This is a mechanic on almost every boss and mini-boss that has a tail. You chop it off, you get a special weapon. It's a really nice feature. I like it. Once both gargoyles are easily taken care of, Gilbert rings the first bell, with the next lying deep below in the depths of Blighttown. It still sounds like such a fun place. I'm really excited. Before we progress though, I want the Ring of Favor and Protection, which you can only acquire by releasing some terrorist from his prison cell. Well shit, it looks like he escaped on his own. Not to worry though, because he's just off gazing at our Firekeeper with a weird look in his eye. Wonder what that's all about. Oh well, time to kill him. This ring will boost our stats as long as we never unequip it. A pretty fair trade-off if you ask me. Now that we gained a power spike, we can start our next journey. Usually the player would have to go through Undead Burg again, go through the depths, but since we're experienced players, we're gonna take the shortcut through New Londo. Our journey to the second bell begins just like the first, in London. This time, however, we're going to go below to the even shittier part where we fight the Capra Demon, a boss so easy he returns as a normal enemy later. And though he may feel like an optional boss, we need him in order to get the key to the depths. If we had chosen the master key as a starting item, we could have skipped all of this, but instead we chose the binoculars so we can get shots as beautiful as this. It really wasn't worth it. The depths are an annoying part of Dark Souls with zero redeeming qualities, and you just can't change my mind about that. Actually, I'll take that back. The depths has you fight Iron Chef Bobby Flay as soon as you enter them. After that though, it's just rats and sewage. Thankfully, the depths are shorter than my friend Connor, so it's really not that much of a hassle. With only one quick boss for us to handle, it's easy. One quick boss that requires a lot of backtracking to make playable. The hardest part about fighting the Gaping Dragon is not the fight itself, but finding your way up to the wizard that keeps beaming you from above. You have to run through here, dodge these rats, kill these rats, and then kill him. Then you have to walk all the way back. It's a pain, honestly. But now that that nuisance is dealt with, we can peacefully fight the Gaping Dragon in a fair 1v1. I take back what I said about the Capra Demon. This might be the easiest boss fight in the game. You just bait out his walking attack, then when he runs into a wall, he pauses for 10 seconds, and you have unlimited time to hit him. Most people would have upgraded their weapon with Andre at this point, but I'm not like most people. A quick weapon swap and some gold pine resin is more than enough to handle this guy. And now, with the key to Blighttown in my hand, phase 2 of our quest can officially begin. So this is Blighttown, huh? More like Brittown. In all seriousness though, this place is an awful, smelly, swampy swamp. Even the residents are disgusting. Blighttown is a crowded, poison-filled nightmare with so many ways to fall off and die. With all these factors in play, there's only one real way to play through this area. Run. This should only take a skilled player one attempt. Once you reach the next bonfire, you gotta do it all again. Just run over here, jump down here, roll off this, and then boom, you're at the bonfire. Thank you, Dark Souls. With the bonfire lit, we can finally take on our next boss in the journey, Quailag. But before we actually face her, we may want to upgrade our weapon, meaning we have to walk all the way back to Andre in the Undead Parish. Not to fret though, because we can use that shortcut I mentioned earlier, which takes us right back to Firelink Shrine. To get there, we have to take this dog-powered elevator, that's not a joke by the way, and open a chest with the door key. And with that, we're in New Londa Ruins, right under Firelink, right next to Andre. Before we meet with Andre though, let's just see if this guy's warmed up to me yet.
What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it.
I think he just threatened me. We also have some new friends chilling at Firelink. Let's see what they have to say. Okay. I'm just gonna go to Andre now. After some debating, we decided to upgrade our halberd to +3, and while we're here, let's go get what will become our permanent shield for the rest of the playthrough. the Grass Crest Shield. This little guy increases stamina recovery, and it's just an overall great shield to have. The only obstacle on the way is another Black Knight. Easy enough though, right? No! With him out of the way, the Grass Crest Shield is ours, and we decide to explore the area and hunt of the optional boss called the Moonlight Butterfly. I'm a little bit embarrassed to say that I actually don't know where the butterfly is, and there's no funny commentary for this. I ran around for 30 minutes lost and then ended up dying. So we're we're glossing over this. We're cutting to where I find the butterfly because I had to look it up. The Moonlight Butterfly is as easy and peaceful as you'd expect. There's nothing really to be said, so there, I killed it. Since we're already stalling doing Quelaag, we might as well do some other side quests. And we just got the Watchtower key, so let's just kill Havel while we're here. Poor guy. Going up his Watchtower takes us back to the Undead Burg, and while passing through, let's get what will become our main weapon of the playthrough, the Uchigatana. The Uchigatana. Did I say that right? Uchigatana. Yeah. Wait, oh my, I said it right. To get this katana, you have to sacrifice this merchant and take it from his lifeless, cold hands. We get the Uchigatana. We get the katana up to +5 and decide the halberd was a mistake. But now, we're ready to fight Quelaag once and for all. Her boss fight is quite easy as long as you keep your eyes on the prize. No, not those, not those. Those. Just walk circles around her and smack her spider legs every chance you get. The only thing you may have to watch out for is the self-destruct move. It may one-shot you. And with Quelaag out of the way, we can finally ring the second bell, opening up the next phase of our great journey, Sen's Fortress. Sen's Fortress lies right outside of where Andre is, so we gotta go all the way back there again. Along the way, our nemesis makes some more vague threats and tells us of Frompt, a new friend and guide to help us along in our quest.
It's noisy, it snores, and its breath is lethal.
Ah, hello. Was it you who rang the bell of awakening? I am the primordial serpent, King Sika-Fract, the close friend of the great Lord Gwyn, chosen undead. Your fate is to succeed the great Lord Gwyn, so that you may link the fire, cast away the dark, and undo the curse of the undead. To this end, you must visit Anor Londo and acquire the Lord Vessel.
Alright, he actually gave us a new quest. We have to get to Anor Londo, and to get there, we have to travel through Sen's Fortress, which we just opened. Sen's is a painful torture chamber full of snakes, traps, and death. Right from the entrance, Sen's Fortress has the player rethinking everything. But luckily for you guys watching, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The best way to get through Sen's Fortress is like Blighttown. Run through it. Don't actually do this if you haven't played through it before. This is an earned right, okay guys? Making your way through is quite simple in all honesty. It's a pretty straight path up to the top with a few roadblocks in between. You may think this boulder to be your enemy. You'd be right. But you can also use this rock to open up some new areas. By doing so, if you smash this harmless snake man and open up the path to Big Hat Logan. If you were to let Logan out, he'd go over to Firelink and teach you some awesome spells. But since that doesn't matter to me in the slightest, he's just gonna stay locked up. You could continue to venture off in these other directions the rock shows you, or you could just go up these stairs right here and progress with this section. I personally always choose the first option and later regret it. Getting past this half of Sense Fortress is like seeing sunlight for the first time in years. The rooftop section is a whole lot easier, and you finally get your first and only bonfire in Sense Fortress. New players may have trouble finding it, and to spare you poor souls, here it is. You may have noticed the giant firebombs dropping from the sky if you're a keen viewer. The culprit behind this is a giant above you. You could keep him around if you so enjoy, or you could just walk up some stairs and smack at his ankles till he's sobbing on the ground like a baby. With all that out of the way, we can take on the boss of Sense Fortress, the Iron Giant. I know I keep saying this, but this is the actual easiest boss in the game. Just poke at his legs a little bit, and then you can watch him try and show off his dope backflip skills. Couldn't stick to the landing. If you made it this far in the video, thank you first off. But also be prepared for the next 2/3 of the game remaining. Because in the words of IGN, the real Dark Souls starts here. Anor Londo is a magical place filled with majestic views, women, and cannibals. Reminds me a lot of that one Weird Al song about Albuquerque. Getting there is kind of the same too. After you push that Minecraft mob off the ledge, a golden ring appears in its place. Touching this ring summons some weird hairless demons to safely fly you away. What the fuck? What the fuck? What are you doing? No! This hurts. Oh my god. It's not safe. It's not safe. Put me down. Put me down. Put me down. Holy shit, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Oh my god, why does this keep happening to me? Now that we made it to the holy city of Anor Londo, we have to find Gwen's daughter, Guinevere.
I am Guinevere, daughter of Lord Gwyn and Queen of Sunlight.
What a name. Guinevere sits at the top of the main tower across this bridge. Should be fun, hopefully. The funnest part about Anor Londo is, well, it's not this guy. Or these guys. Definitely not this guy. I really don't know why everyone loves this place so much, besides the beauty, but hey, after that quick montage we just did, we crossed the bridge. And now I just need to find a way inside. The only route we can take from here is the one of a professional burglar. In other words, we're gonna scale the building. Now this is no easy task, especially in a game such as Dark Souls. Because why would anything be easy in Dark Souls? 2 Silver Knight archers are lined up with some of the strongest bow and arrows to knock you off the seams. Once you're up close and personal though, it becomes an epic sword fight atop the castle. But as I've shown earlier, parrying comes naturally to a guy like me, so these guys don't even stand a chance. Finally. Now that we're in the castle, we can rest up and catch up with our old pal Solaire.
Oh, there you are. You've been quiet these days. Smooth summoning out there. Anytime you see my brilliantly shining signature, do not hesitate to call upon me. You've left me with quite an impression. I would relish a chance to assist you.
Poor guy seems really lonely. Oh well. Exploring the rooms around the castle is definitely worth your time, and I do recommend it. But for the sake of this video, we're just gonna do another little jump skip by jumping over this railing like a badass. Now that you all know that I got hops, we can open the main door and prepare ourselves for the demons that lay ahead. By demons, I mean Ornstein and Smo. The best and worst dual boss fight From Software has ever given us to date. Most people only call it the best, but realistically, nobody likes this kind of boss fight, because they all suck fat dick. The best way to go about fighting these two is taking them on one at a time, obviously. Preferably killing Ornstein first. By doing so, you give yourself the easiest second phase a boss has ever had with Empowered Smo. Empowered Ornstein, on the other hand, not so easy, but that's why we kill Ornstein first. It may seem difficult to fight them one by one, and that's because it is. It is painfully annoying how attached at the hip these two are. I don't even want to admit how many attempts this fight took me. There's no jokes to be made here. It was just painful, and it took way too long. Those two dimwits were in charge of protecting Guinevere up above them. I hope she didn't notice how many attempts that took me. Anyway, how about we finally meet this fair hello, Miss Guinevere. I'm here for your baby vessel. I mean, Lord Vessel. The Lord Vessel allows us to finally fast travel between some key bonfires and opens up some new areas with new important bosses we have to fight, obviously. Hooray for us! Our quest now takes us to places like Tomb of the Giants, the Abyss, Lost Izalith, and the Grand Archives, all of which are extensions of places we've already been to, except Tomb of the Giants, so let's start there. The reason we didn't go down this path earlier is because the catacombs suck, and there's nothing to do here. The only nice part about them is how close they are to Firelink. But besides that, it's nothing but skeletons, traps, warlocks, rolling skeletons, wheels, and just more skeletons. At least it's short and easy to skip through.
Oh, but a real Souls player would play through the entire area.
Shut up. I'm not dealing with the catacombs. You want to see me suffer? Is that what you want? Alright, here's a compilation of me dying in the catacombs. Oh my god. Well, I guess we're here now. No, why didn't you roll that way? Dude! Are you happy now, you masochist? The boss between the catacombs and Tomb of the Giants is not really a boss, but I don't even know what to call this thing. By the time I'm saying this sentence, he's already dead. Yep, there he is. He's dead. Pinwheel drops the rite of kindling, allowing us to kindle our bonfires. This means that when we rest, we will gain up to 20 flasks instead of the normal 5. To get up to 20, you do have to kindle a few times, and to be quite frank, 10 is more than enough flasks for a player of my stature. The Tomb of the Giants is probably most players' favorite area from any video game ever. From the pitch black landscape to the random holes that you'll fall into, and not to mention the giant skeletons lurking in the dark. Tomb really just has everything a gamer could ask for. You may have noticed a trend with this playthrough, that being that I just tend to run through areas that I don't feel like dealing with. And well, what I do next may shock you. We're well rested and ready to take on our next challenge. And it looks like we may have a friend to help us along the way.
Good day. You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the catacombs? Are you a cleric or something? No? Really? Then I'd have no qualms telling you. There's a fine stash of treasure right down that hole. I found it first, but, well, we're friends now, so I'll split it with you. In any case, have a look. It'll shimmer you blind.
Oh yeah, this guy seems nice. Seems a little off, but hey man, treasure's treasure. Ow! Ow! What the hell, man? You are not a friend! Oh, but there's a beautiful lady down here. How you doing, girl?
Please be careful. There are 2 fierce hollows not far from here.
Oh, what an unfortunate series of events. May I have your hand in marriage?
Here, these belonged to them. You deserve them more than
Wow. I killed her bodyguards and she still won't marry me. What's up with women these days? Oh well, on with the playthrough. The rest of the Tomb of the Giants is just miserable and dark, so to keep myself from repeating jokes, here's just a nice montage of me getting through it. I hope that was fun to watch, because it was not very fun to play. Just a short walk from here, and we'll be fighting our first Lord boss, Nito. Nito isn't really a hard boss on his own, but good for him, because he's not on his own. His little gremlins are here to poke, jump, and spin towards you, making this one of the most annoying boss fights in the game. This could be easily countered by using a holy weapon, but we don't roll that way here. My personal favorite part about this boss fight is the mandatory fall damage at the very start. Really sets the mood for the rest of this part of the video. During my first attempt, I make a discovery. So my damage seems to be just a little bit lacking. And like any sane Dark Souls player, I decided to just try a different weapon instead of upgrading the one I'm using. Makes sense, right? Well, time to do that whole run back again. Now that we're using a lightning spear instead of our katana, we're doing 62 damage instead of 50. Nice one, Caleb. It'll do though, because for this attempt, Nito the Gravelord blessed me with some of the best RNG on his AoE attack, giving us an easy open to get some hits in, and also killing his skeletons in the process. And when I tell you I was blessed, I mean it. One of 4 lords defeated, and with so many options to choose from, I asked my dear friend Gio where I should go next. Where should I go next? Where do you want me?
That was your first lord boss?
Yep.
You should go do you should go do the
Take your time.
Kaled,
Kaled?
Yeah,
Elden Ring Kaled. Well, it's time to play a real video game. So, do you want me to go to Anne Orlando or the Four Kings or
go to the Bed of Chaos. Do that.
Okay. With our next boss picked out, we gear up and make our way back to New Londo Ruins. I feel like this area is a lot cooler than people give it credit for, and is way too short for my liking. Maybe it's the emo edgelord side of me, but the atmosphere and enemies are some of my personal favorites in the series. Realistically, New Londo could take you 5 minutes to get through and open up everything. If you know where you're going, that is. Most players don't, so let me give you a nice simple guide. Just sprint across this bridge, go up these stairs, walk across this walkway, down these stairs, take a right, go through the fog gate, go down some more stairs, through this building, drop down these stairs, and go out. Oh, wrong turn, I guess. Let's backtrack. Oh, here it is. Go in this room and climb up the ladder to meet Ingward and get the key to the seal from him. Without this key, we can't progress. Since you may have noticed the amount of water that sits below us, we need this key to open up the floodgates. To do this, follow along with me. Use a transcendent curse, allowing you to hit the ghosts. If you don't have one, Ingward sells some, so buy them. Go down the ladder, fight for your life, make your way back outside, and make a right out the door. And with that, we have reached the lever that opens the gates. The lower half of New Londo is a lot less complicated, with a shortcut and all. From here, it's just a straightforward path, with some Skull Knights and a few ghosts in the way, but they're nothing to worry about. This has been Party Poison's step-by-step guide to New Londo Ruins. The Four Kings have been called many things. The main one is a DPS check. That's because it's true. So let's walk in and find out if we're strong enough yet. They've got to stop doing that to me. Since this fight takes place in the Abyss, you need a special ring so you don't die the moment you get in there. The Covenant of Artorias ring. A ring that belonged to a great knight long ago. You all know who he is, right? You should. Artorias' story is fun and amazing, but getting this ring is a lot less fun and amazing. Go back to Darkroot Garden near Andre, buy the Crest of Artorias from him, walk past some creepy cat, and then you have to kill a dog. Seriously. From Software makes their players kill a cute and friendly dog. Thank you, Dark Souls. With the ring on finger, we can finally get DPS checked. Huh, well that didn't go as planned. And since there's no bonfire in New Londo, we have to run all the way back. But it's really not that bad. I will say though, I've always taken pride in how good I am at parkour in these games. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking... Alright, let's try again.
Skill issue. I'm just gonna skip that. I don't want to do that, boss. Fuck her.
What boss?
I forgot her name.
Dude, okay, I died right away. Dude, how do you dodge the Four Kings fucking projectile attack that just circles you slowly until it hits you?
I think when I would do that boss, like I just wouldn't dodge it, and I would just get armors with hella poise. Like, so I would just kind of storm in with my giant-ass sword and Havel's armor and tank everything.
Havel.
Yeah. Havel.
Havel.
I just say Havel.
Okay, I'll dress up like a Silver Knight. New plan. Tank everything they throw at us and just smack them till they die. Two Lord bosses down, 2 more to go. Since we promised Geo earlier that we do better Chaos and just went and did 4 Kings instead, it's only right that we do it now. Usually, this area would be covered head to toe in lava, but since we already killed the Ceaseless Discharge, right? You did that earlier when I did. You killed him, right? Good. With the Ceaseless Discharge taken care of, the lava below shouldn't be an issue and should have all went away. Let's take a long look at this beautiful scenery here. Ah, isn't this nice? Oh my god. All we gotta do is cross this bridge and... Alright, well, looks like this bloke is trying to get in my way. No, it can't be. Damn straight, you better not show your face around Gilbert again. I thought this day would never come. Today! Not tomorrow, today! Gilbert will strike down each and every bloke there is. Charge! Yeah! Oh fuck! Oh, run away! Dude, I'm sorry. Yeah! 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 It's too easy. Well, that was fun. Time to progress with the actual game now. You may recognize another familiar face here, being the Capra Demon. You may also notice the large number of them here. What I like to do when I'm feeling extra scared is to lure them out one by one with my bow and arrow, like so. Okay, I guess that's not an option. Come over here, kill this reed creature, and then boom, you get a bonfire. A nice, warm bonfire in this dark, cold area. With such a beautiful view as well. Moments like this don't come easy. Across the way is our next, boss fight? With a demon fire sage. Oh wait, hold on, let me take care of something. What I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted is that the demon fire sage is literally the exact same boss as the tutorial boss, but with like one extra move. So, boom, there, I killed him, hooray. Right past him is yet another bonfire. Really happy they gave me 2 bonfires right next to each other, just in case I really struggled with the demon fire sage. Right down this tree root is yet another boss, the centipede demon. Gross looking thing, but maybe he'll be more of a challenge for me. Never mind then. The centipede demon drops the orange charred ring, allowing us to walk in lava like we're Gollum at the end of Return of the King. Oh, and look who it is again, Solaire, our happy-go-lucky friend. I wonder how he's doing.
Why? Why? After all this searching, I still cannot find it.
What happened to this guy? Who hurt him? We're gonna give him some space for now. The bottom half of some creature floods the air ahead, and to be quite frank, they scare me, and I don't want to look at them for very long, so... And like that, we're right outside the door of our next Lord Soul, the Bed of Chaos. Before we actually fight her though, I like to open a shortcut. Oops, excuse me ma'am, pardon me sir. Wait a second. I recognize that silhouette. Is that... Oh my god. Solaire. There's no funny commentary for this moment. Here is a somber viewing though.
It's dark. So dark.
It is dark, my dear friend. It is dark. With the shortcut open, we're finally ready to take on the best and most fair, even challenging boss From Software has ever given us. On a real note, this boss is hardly a boss at all. It's a parkour mission where you have to try and jump holes and dodge branches. Honest to God, the best part of this boss fight is the intro where you go down a slide. Bed of Chaos at its core is a gimmick boss, where the gimmick is that you don't fight it at all. You have to run to both the left and right side of the arena, smack some orb thing, and kill some creepy bug fella. The trick is though, as you're doing it, the arena falls apart and the Bed of Chaos will try to swat you into the holes. It's about as fun as it sounds. The third and final hit that you have to land is probably the most annoying to reach, due to the massive ravine that lies in the center of the arena. But after an attempt, or 4, you'll be lucky enough to reach the center and put an end to this little shit. Ah, what? Fuck you! Also putting an end to this god-awful location. We saved maybe the funnest location for last. That way I feel like I actually enjoyed this playthrough. The Grand Archives, located right besides Anne Orlando, under this guy's legs and above these 2 annoying hogs. The Grand Archives has this whole crystal theme going on, which is very pretty to look at, but not so pretty to play against. Grand Archives is also where you encounter your second mimic. The first was in Sense Fortress, but I felt like leaving it out so that anyone following along died to it. I think that's funny. You can tell the difference by looking at the chain on the side. The mimic chain is straight out, and a real chest is curled up like a pug's tail. Also, the mimic breathes. Thankfully, our final Lord boss is right up this elevator waiting for us. Not this guy. This guy. Only one issue though. You can't reach him. Great, now we're in Crystal Jail, with shitty cellmates, and no way out. I think we lost... Oh, never mind. This guy had the key all along. We're good. Seems like they caught on pretty fast about our escape. But Squid Game 2 is nothing to worry about, except when they jump over railings and grab you. Just poke them around a few times, turn off the alarm, grab this key, and run back up the stairs. Should be easy enough. With your freedom finally unlocked, you can enjoy this gorgeous view of... Who is this guy? As I was saying... Whatever, the moment's ruined. It's ruined. The rest of the archives can be a bit tricky if you don't know what you're doing. Luckily for you guys, because I don't either. You just kind of play around with these Harry Potter stairs until you get where you want. Now that I'm actually recording, we can continue on with the playthrough. The next 5 minutes of the game doesn't actually have you fight a single enemy, unless you really want to. Freak. It does have you defy all logic by standing in midair though. I know the real explanation is like, oh, it's light and crystal and the reflections and shut up. Alright, I don't care. I usually take a minute or two to enjoy the beauty of the scenery here. Okay, we're done. Just like New Londo, I wish that the crystal caves were longer and had some more enemies, but oh well, we're already at Seath. I mentioned earlier that cutting something's tail off will drop a special weapon, and Seath follows those same rules. Chop off his tail and boom, Moonlight Greatsword. Funny thing is though, I actually didn't do that this playthrough because Seath was pissing me the frick off, so I tried to get it so many times, but in the end, I gave up and just killed him by standing under him and smacking away at his, like, crotch. So, sorry. There's really not much to this boss fight, to be honest. And I've been saying that a lot for the second half of the game. A lot of people say that Dark Souls falls off after Enter Londo, and while I want to disagree, it's kind of hard to. I'm going to save all my overall thoughts for the end of the video, so let's beat Gwen and then we'll talk about all that. Wake up!
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well and wide awake. Do not treat me like an old withering snake.
Take me to the altar. Sacrificing all the souls we just gathered opens up the gates to the Kiln of the First Flame, one of the best locations in the entire series, filled to the brim with Black Knights of every weapon possible, and Gwen. Kiln is a fan and personal favorite. Just be careful not to get the ashes all over your clothes and such. It's a pain to clean up. As I showed off earlier, the Black Knights are nothing to me. Just parry, then stab. And then boom, you're at Gwen's door. Gwen is kind of infamous as a boss, because everybody loves him, but not his fight. Let me explain. Location? Check. Incredible soundtrack? Check. Great design? Check. The option to be parried on every single swing, rendering helpless to anyone who knows how to parry? Check. I'm serious about that, by the way. You can parry him a lot, which should make this an easy boss fight for me, right? Wrong! For some unknown reason, I just can't parry him. After attempt after attempt, I kept missing a parry, scrambling, try heal, then dying. All of my hours put into each of the Souls games, wasted. Beating this game took me around 12 hours. 1.5 of that was just on Gwen. I really wish I was lying. Dead, 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 dead. Oh wow, beautiful piano is being played in the background. It was a humbling experience, to say the least. I tried different armor, different weapons. I even tried to just not parry him, and I still kept dying. Until I did something no one else has ever even thought of doing. I looked up a video of someone else killing him and then figured out his parry window. So, enough ranting about how I need to get good. Here's some of the highlights of my fight with Gwen. We're done! Fucking hell, man. Yeah. What about it? What about it? What about it? What about it? Most of you watching probably forgot the actual intention of this video. And no, it was not to make you laugh or smile or bring you any kind of joy. It was to figure out why this game is so beloved. For many people, what's so special about this game is its map design. And to that, I have to agree. Everything is connected so fluently and it just works and feels perfect. everything makes sense here. Going from Blight Town to Valley of the Drakes to Darkroot Basin is just such an awesome experience. It's a shame that From Software never did anything as interconnected as this again, and went with a more linear design for future games. The gameplay is just as unique for a game that came out in 2011. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that no one else was making games as challenging as Dark Souls. Games like Arkham City, Portal 2, and Modern Warfare 3 were some of the most popular back in 2011. But gamers who didn't want their hand held or to be called a slur went to Dark Souls. At its core, Dark Souls is just like any other action RPG, having the player start off super weak and then go on a quest that seems damn near impossible. The difference between Dark Souls and other RPGs though, is that it's not the gear that's necessarily getting better. Well, it'll help, but it's really the player that's improving. Dark Souls makes the player die and try again just to die again to some other move. This is a game of adaptation and masochism. The joke, "Thank you Dark Souls," did not come from a place of love. The player is destined to die to some kind of borderline unfair move at least once per playthrough, and all we can do is laugh and learn from it. The combat and movement are clunky, and while some people might chalk it up to the game's age, it's definitely intentional, making the player's inputs and timings even more important. Nobody ever forgets their first experience with a Dark Souls game, their first time dying to some bullshit, and their first time falling in love with this game design. I mentioned before I suffered through Gwen that many people say the game has a drastic fall off after Anor Londo, so we're going to talk about that now. Before getting to Anor Londo, the player is exploring all these unique and different places throughout this insane world. Every boss feels intense and special, every NPC you find is interesting, but then you finish Anor Londo and everything just feels like a rehash. None of the areas are entirely new and are just extensions of places we've already beat and explored. There are no more new NPCs to find, and every boss is just kinda mid. Each Lord boss is insanely cool and interesting in lore and design, but in-game, they just suck. Nito is a pushover who relies on mobs, Four Kings is a DPS check, Bed of Chaos is Bed of Chaos, and Seath is only challenged if you go to cut off his tail. Out of the 4 locations, Grand Archives is by far the best. It looks and feels different enough from Anor Londo for it to be its own thing. The design and enemies are different and fun, and the crystal theme is so appealing to look at and play through. And despite how different it is from the actual Anor Londo, I'd still have to say it's like a 7. All of these mid or just straight up bad bosses lead to one of the most anticlimactic boss fights in any game ever. Gwen is so unfathomably awesome in every way, but he fights like he wants to die. And while that might be true in lore or some theories, I don't want to play that, that's not fun. Gwen may deal a shit ton of damage. He may chase you down, never letting you get a heal off. He may have a one-shot combo no matter what your health bar is, but he's still just a pushover in the end. Like most things in this game, he's carried by his design and soundtrack. Speaking of the soundtrack, I think it's about time I speak about this masterpiece that was crafted here. Where do we even begin though? It speaks for itself better than I could ever try to speak for it, but I'll try my best. Dark Souls' soundtrack is like nothing else from this era of video games. This style of OST wasn't popular before Dark Souls as far as I know. Game OSTs were always special and unique and perfect for whatever game they were made for, but when listening to them, you could tell that this is from a video game. And for some, you could even figure out what type of game it was. Take Ocarina of Time for example, one of the most iconic game soundtracks ever. And as someone who's never played a Zelda game, I can understand what this game feels like just from the soundtrack alone. I can feel how adventurous, fun, and relaxing this is. And then you take a game like Dark Souls. It feels like something more than just a game. It feels too epic to be just a video game. The OST isn't just another random soundtrack, it's something beyond that. The orchestra, the choir, and the feeling behind each song doesn't feel like a video game. It's something more. That sums up how this entire game feels. Like something bigger than just a video game. I know I spent most of the video cracking jokes and suffering, but these are some of my favorite kinds of games to play. Something that actually challenges me and forces me to learn and react to something new every step of the way. No matter how much I will bash on these games, I will always love them. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It means more than you may think. And if you want to see more of this style of content, let me know some games I should play in the comments down below. I do have a second channel with a lot more laid-back content, with just me and my friends playing through some games. So if you want to check that out, please do. Thank you to everyone who stuck through the entire video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.